Finsweet, agency, product, community. That's effing sweet.
Great. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first technical live stream of 2025. It's been a while that we haven't done this since last December, but we're back. And today I'm actually very excited because I am first stream of the year, and we've got a guest. And we got a very cool guest of a very cool product that I've been following for a long time. And I'm so excited to have him here. And it's Steve. Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
Hello, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Nice. Steve is the creator of Val Town. This is one product that we're gonna be, talking about the product and everything. But as I mentioned, this is a product that the moment that I saw it, I think that it was like 2 years ago, I immediately started following it because I thought that it was a very interesting idea. It was a very interesting concept, and it has a lot of possibilities for the Webflow ecosystem. I know that most of people watching this are Webflow guys, and you're always looking into how to improve your Webflow sites, how to do something better, or to build something more complex, or just take a different perspective on when you're building something. And Ballatown, sorry, I'm going to be correcting myself. Ballatown is the domain. Ballatown can help you with that. So I usually will wait for about 5 minutes before doing the deep dive on the product so people can join. So before doing that, Steve, do you want to share anything with the people?
Well, I was just telling you before we went live, one of my claim to fame is I did an interview with the founder of Webflow, Vlad, on my old podcast in 2019, which seems like forever ago. Anything before the pandemic was ancient history, basically.
That makes you famous automatically in this community. Somebody has been able to interview him. That's already a VIP here.
Yeah, Vlad is very cool. The podcast was called Future of Coding. It still exists. It was episode 35, Democratizing Web Design with Vlad. I don't know if you guys, I'd be curious to know if you know about the history of Webflow, because I think it's fascinating. Vlad was a designer who he saw this video called "Inventing on Principle" by Brett Victor, and it blew his mind. And he started Webflow the next day. And I am also a devotee of Brett Victor, who's been inspired by him in my career, and the things I'm building are also inspired by Brett Victor. So that we connected over that.
Nice. Now that's on my to-do list now to watch those videos. I might start building something tomorrow. Oh yeah, haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Everyone listening should go to Brett Victor's website, worrydream.com, and he has a treasure trove of videos and essays that will just blow your mind. The risk is that it's a rabbit hole you'll never escape. I still have not escaped.
Nice. Well, I like that kind of rabbit hole. I'm good with it. Nice. Okay, great. I think that we are ready to start diving into Val Town because we only have an hour. We only have 55 minutes now, and there's a lot of cool things that we can talk about this product. So let's share my screen. The idea is that we're going to do, first of all, an overview of the product, of the platform, see what you can build with it, but then we are going to get our hands into it. Steve can guide me through implementing a bunch of things, although I can tell you already that they have a very cool AI assistant that could potentially be doing Steve jobs. But yeah, let's go over it. So Val Town, if GitHub gists could run in AWS Lambda, was fun. I really love this sentence.
Yeah, I think there's a risk that if your audience, if they're Webflow developers and they're not developers in general, if they don't know if you don't know what a GitHub gist is or AWS Lambda, it could be a very arcane sentence, which does happen a lot.
It could, but so if we wanted to translate it to no code jargon, what we could say is that Val Town is a way to create backend servers or backend endpoints with very minimal containerized snippets that just with just a few lines of code, you can create a full-blown endpoint that it's deployed on the edge. It's working perfectly. You don't need to worry about servers. You don't need to worry about the traditional way of developing things. You just do it the no-code way of setting something up, clicking deploy. It's working nicely everywhere, and you get all the goodies of that. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. The I love analogizing to things that people know, and so if your audience knows your product Wizzed, I would analogize to say that Val Town is like Wizzed but for the back end.
Nice. Yeah. A lot of people here knows Wist, and I would say that that could be a very, very good definition. Yeah, because in Wist as well, instead of building everything, the whole setup to like a traditional framework, front-end framework, you just have to worry about adding the small bits of logic that should be defining your application. And Wist handles everything for you. So Valtown would be the same for the backend, and I really love that. I really, really do. How about we go over some of the use cases so at least people can get an idea, and then we can also come up with ideas for specifically Webflow sites. Great.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I think.
let's explore this.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't see your screen anymore. There we go. Great.
There.
Okay. We just made this page, so I'd love folks' feedback on it. I bet you Webflow people are better than design than us backend people. So one of the most common use cases of Valtown is getting custom alerts, because Valtown has Valtown can like pull. You can create something that runs on a timer. We call that a cron or an interval. And so you can periodically pull Twitter or Reddit or Hacker News or Blue Sky or any data source. It could be a stock, or it could be Craigslist, or a concert if you want to buy tickets. People do all sorts of things, booking tennis courts. And then if this bot in code finds what it's looking for, it could send you an email. It could send a message to your Slack or Discord or Telegram, anywhere you want. That's a very common use case. Like everyone in every company needs some sort of custom alerting infrastructure.
Nice. Is it based on, so these alerting is it based on Chrome or is it on webhooks?
Those are all cron ones, but that's an excellent question. This one on the left under user management, new Stripe subscriber, that one's webhook based. So if you wanted to get an alert whenever you got a new subscriber on Stripe, Stripe has webhooks, so they'll like, basically it's the difference between pulling and pushing. Pulling and pushing.
Yeah.
Are we going and getting the data, or is the data being shoved at us? And Valtown supports both ways of doing things.
Webflow also notifies you with webhooks for a few actions, like when you publish a site, when you get a form submission, stuff like that. So there are definitely also use cases around webhooks in Webflow.
Nice. Yeah. So any of those would be very easy to connect to a Valtown piece of code. And then once you're like connected to Valtown, we make it fairly easy to get to anywhere else you might want to get, to your email, to Slack, Discord, email a customer, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, I think maybe we could just jump to there are all sorts of little things you could do. Maybe jump to, if you scroll up to the top and click on features, I think that's another cool way to slice the product. We have crons running code on a timer, and then you could think about the different kinds of vals as the different kinds of triggers. So the top one is like a timer is a trigger. The next one is an HTTP request is a trigger. So like people hitting a URL in the browser or via webhook. Email is also a trigger. That's the next one. And then the last kind of val, I don't even know if we talk about it here, but it's a script val, which you actually warned me about before the call that might actually be particularly useful for Webflow users, which is cool.
Yeah, correct. I think that people might be very excited about that particular feature. You should put it at least in the use cases section for the Webflow for the Webflow folks.
Yes. I think
I can take it from there.
Made this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. We just made this new use cases page, and I think after this call, we can add a new row for like Webflow use cases, and we can probably have a whole row
Yes.
for Webflow.
Yes, absolutely. And I saw that. My Webflow my Webflow tingle was like, oh, something in here we can use it. And essentially, same as you can create some vals in here to run some logic on server endpoints, you can create vals that represent a script tag. Well, that represent a script file. Sorry. And that script file can be imported in Webflow, and that's something that a lot of Webflow people needs. Just defining some custom logic, put it in somewhere, hosting it, and importing it directly from Webflow. So we're gonna definitely see this today as well. So at least people can get an idea on how to use it. Great. Okay, and also importing any kind of packages, which give you a lot of power. And because it's Dino, you don't need to compile anything, right?
Yes. That I guess brings up another point about low code, no code, because that we're all fans. But so what is Val Town? We actually use the phrase "just code" to describe what Val Town is, because it is our contention that code is not the problem. It's everything around code that's the problem. And so that's like installing the programming language, getting it running on your computer, getting it running in the deployed setting, deploying, getting GitHub set up, getting your local editor set up, installing packages and dependencies. There's like a million annoying parts around code, but code is lovely. Once you learn the basics, or you have AI write it for you. And so I think a lot of the excitement around no code and low code is really not about getting rid of code, but getting rid of everything around code. And that's also what Val Town does. It's very code forward. So we can't call it low code because all it is code. So that's why we call it just code.
Yeah, but you get all the goodies of the full control of code, but you don't have to be a professional coder. You don't have to be an engineer to do this, especially today with AI being involved. How about we start doing something with it?
Yeah, let's make a thing.
Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna sign in. Gonna use my GitHub account, and I've got an empty dashboard. I had a couple things that I played around with that I deleted it to get a fresh new view in here. What do you think if we go from left to right and we see all these different use cases? I can tell you people are going to be excited about this one, but I really want to showcase how you can build, backends with this to power your Webflow frontends.
Great.
So let's create this. Okay. So I can create a script, and as I mentioned, that's one of the features of Val Town, which allows me to just now write any code or ask the AI to write that code for me, and that will be hosted, deployed, and immediately available, so I can put it on my Webflow site. Is that right?
Totally.
I really love the collaboration tackle that you have. Like you it looks like it's very collaboration focused, right? Because you get comments, you get a way of sharing the snippets so other people can reuse them, etc. Is there anything else like what was in your mind when you were designing this initially?
Yeah, collaboration is definitely at the center of it. There's forks, there's even pull requests. So that's a very common workflow. So if you have here, so why don't you do like console.log hello, put something in here, and then you could hit run, and then if you paste the link
can I ask
somewhere,
the AI to do it for me?
Yeah, there are two ways to do it. One way is right here. Go for it. Yeah, ask AI, log something to the console.
As not somebody, something.
Nice, great. And then if you shared this URL with me, maybe in the chat, I can I could fork it and send you a pull request.
Oh, okay, nice.
And just to kind of show you that like the collaboration flow.
Okay, let's do this because I asked the wrong thing and I told him the AI to log somebody, which is wrong because now it's trying to log in somebody. Okay, but so I saved this. I got my amazingly professional JavaScript code. What do you do now? I can run it here. And also
Yeah,
you
go ahead and
said
click
that you
run.
can, well, if I run in prod, it's
Um,
gonna run in my
oh, so
console, or is it
we
running?
have
Oh, the
excellent.
logs
This
one.
this, this isn't. Yeah. This is a very, I think it for you, the use cases we're talking about, getting it running. Um, there's a really tricky thing that we should go over, and we might have to go over this multiple times. Val Town is a
Mm-hmm.
backend platform. So when you click run, it's running this console.log or anything you put in here on our servers in the backend. So it
Right.
won't show up in the front end browser-based logs. But you can it is also just JavaScript. So if we wanted this to run in the front
Yeah.
end, we also could, and then it
Yeah.
would show up in the front end browser-based logs. So
Yeah.
the code doesn't care where it's run. Uh, so we could do either one. And we'll do both
Yeah.
probably.
Makes total sense. So how do I go back to, do I go to here, view
Yeah.
details? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So I've got my version here, and you said that you wanted to now collaborate in here.
Yeah, so if you copy and paste the link into in the URL browser, just that link.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. So if you paste that into the
Which?
chat, I'll send you.
Okay. Oh. So you have immediate access to it?
So right now it's listed as private. So when I click on it, it'll say I can't see it. But I actually clicked a button that says send a request to publish it. So now if you click on your user profile and then like alerts, you'll see you might see maybe you have to there's a
Oh,
request to
nice.
publish you got from me. And then you
Nice.
made it public, so now I can see it. So I'm gonna hit fork, so you'll get another notification that I forked it. Something from Steve. And now I'll hit send you a pull request. Test PR.
Oh,
Okay, and now
this
you
is
should get
amazing.
another notification that I sent you a pull request. If you refresh the page, you'll see or you could just go to notifications. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing, actually. I didn't know that you could collaborate that much in Val Town. And I can
Yeah.
review it, I can merge it. I assume that maybe in the future you will be able to also add comments as well, stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Pull requests
Nice.
are about to get a lot more complicated, a lot more powerful. We're launching this new project. So right now, vals are a single file and optionally a README, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And pull requests are fairly limited. But we're launching this new feature called projects, which let you have multiple files and very powerful version control pull request features. So in some sense,
That's
you could
lovely.
think of Altown as we're like all of GitHub combined with deployment in one unified platform.
That's amazing. Okay, so now I've got here some JavaScript, and I could potentially just put it in my Webflow site if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I could
Let's do
come
that.
here, say copy module URL, and I'm gonna go back to my Webflow project, just open the custom code section, and I can just put the script tag here with the source, which I assume that should be type module.
You got it. Good catch.
Yeah. Especially if we start adding dependencies and stuff, so it's going to be dynamically imported. But if I think that I did it very quick, but I just did this. So script, type module, source, and I added the link to this file that we just created. And then if I did it correctly, we should see a console log here that says something from Steve, which is awesome. And is it highly cached, or is it, if I save here, is it already?
Let's find out.
Oh, yeah. Lovely. I can see a lot of people loving this from Webflow. Can tell you that. Nice. Okay. But that's just one of the most basic functionalities of Val Town, right?
Totally.
So,
and just like another thing people might really like is they like TypeScript. You can write TypeScript in here, and it'll still work in Webflow. We will transpile the TypeScript into JavaScript.
How do you do it? Is it done by Dino, or do you have a custom compiler when you run a compiler or something?
I think we just run the TypeScript compiler. I don't recall if we run it through Dino or just I don't know how it works in the back end, but no, it works really well. We use like the right infrastructure.
So I can do this. Now I'm curious. I can do this.
Yeah, exactly. you can do this, and it won't throw an error. It'll like just work. You won't even have to like think about what's happening.
Nice. Do you
But
use Monaco? Do you use CodeMirror? What do you use for
we are a
the
big
editor?
code mirror shop. We bet hard on
CodeMirror.
code mirror.
Nice.
We as a team have collectively been using code mirror for like the last 10 years at different companies, and we publish a lot of open source things. So what you just saw, yeah, exactly.
The
So
suggestions and stuff.
what you just saw, that's a repo that we publish called CodeMirror Typescript, CodeMirror-TS, which is used by a lot of other people. It's a very cool module.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you want
Nice.
a TypeScript code editor in the browser, you can use CodeMirror-TS, or open source.
Oh,
I feel like we could
love
spend
it.
forever on this, but one thing I'll say, because we got into it a little bit, is if you paste the module URL in the browser, it's going to look a little bit different. So basically, if you copy and paste the module URL in your browser, you'll see the TypeScript. But if you import it in a script tag, we transpile it into JavaScript, and the way we do it is based on the user agent of the person requesting it. So if we detect that a browser is loading it, then we're like, browsers need JavaScript. We have to do the transpiler. If we detect anyone else is using it, then it's like, okay, TypeScript is fine.
Oh, that's so cool. I never thought of that. That's a very nice idea. So you compile on the go, and I assume that then you cache it or something or are you doing the same work again and again?
I think we might just do it on the go. It's quite fast.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it makes sense. Nice. Well, I'm loving this already. Cool. And yeah, totally. I can check the source here and I can see how these got compiled. Lovely. Okay. I could even then grab this and request for collaborating, right? With the
Exactly.
URL. Okay. Nice. But let's go into how the people can create server endpoints so then we can also get Wisp in the mix and stuff like that. Okay.
Perfect.
So let's create a new HTTP val. Do you call it like that? HTTP val?
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
So it's already
it comes
deployed
with
and
already
running
some
this endpoint.
predefined. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So it's already live. You can
So
like
the moment
open
that
it
I
up in a
create
new
it,
tab. Yeah, the moment you
oh,
create it, it's live and deployed.
that was fast. It was very fast.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is probably the thing we can brag about most. We like our deploys are faster than anybody else in the business, 100 milliseconds. And so what we call Val Town, you're deploying in production because change the word true to the number 1 or math.random or whatever. Change it to whatever you want, and then do Command Enter, and then you'll see us deploy the code and run it in 100 milliseconds.
Oh. So if I say false, you said Command Enter?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's deployed and yeah.
Well, that's impressive, honestly. Wow.
Maybe could you zoom in like Command plus once or twice? The code's a little small.
Here?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or we could just do that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like
cool.
that. So I could
Nice.
ask, for example, you said that there were multiple ways of asking the AI to write code for me?
Yes. So unless you've turned it off, we should have an AI copilot already in like where your cursor is. So if you like delete this line and then do like in a comment like return a random number, it should just write it for you. Let's see. Maybe we've turned it off. If you click on the 3 dots menu and then editor settings.
AI suggestions?
Yeah. Turn that on.
Here. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I can. Oh,
Boom.
that's lovely. Command Enter.
Good. Yep.
Okay, and I can run it. If I hit run, is it gonna rerun
No,
it?
we
Oh,
just
no, I
added.
have to refresh.
Yeah.
Refresh.
If you click, that's actually a bug report. We just changed some of this UI, and I'm realizing now that we should have the run button do the refresh button for you. I will make a note of that.
See all their evaluations. Oh, you can see the history of requests as well.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Here as well. That is so nice. And the versions of the deployments?
Yep.
I'm loving this. You can see the history of all the changes every time that you deploy it. Oh, I want to go more into all these goodies that you're getting here because I think that it's very, very interesting. Okay, so I could potentially now just for the people watching, we just played around with it, but immediately after creating this val, this already gave me an endpoint that I could potentially use for my Webflow site. So if I wanted to go to my Webflow project that I already set up, and let's do Val Town. Actually, because each val is gonna get a different URL, right?
You could do it however you want. We could shove it all into one endpoint, but it's probably easier to give each one their own URL.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's just create a REST integration, and in here, let's create a request that says random number. And in here, I'm just gonna use these val town. It's a get method. Yes, it's a get method with the URL endpoint that we can get from here. So let's copy this. Let's put it in here. And as I mentioned, as you can see, hold on, let me make this smaller. It's very similar concept to Val Town with where you just get some small functions where you return data. So I'm really loving that things can seem very similar in it as my model. Okay, so we return the endpoint, which should be a string like this, and we can call it. And voila, we are already getting some random numbers. Look at that.
Yeah,
Okay,
nice.
love it.
Yeah,
So if we wanted to even connect it more, go ahead. Go ahead.
Does Wiz support modules? Because in theory,
Yes.
you could instead of having a script tag, we could import from Valtown into Wiz. That'd be cool too.
Yes, yeah, we can do that. Yes, as well. I mean, we just do the native dynamic imports, so you can just simply run the await import statement, and you're gonna get the module, and you can access it. We can, if we have time, which I don't know, we can try it. But yeah, the way that you define interactivity in Wisp is by just adding. Let's add a span here. Hold on. Oops, they changed the UI. Is it a span? Yeah. Spanning here, and I'm going to define this as a Wisp element. Let's call this random number. So, because I want people to see the full connection. And in here, let's refresh this. Let's go to elements. We're going to see this random number appear like that. And in here, we can say display the text of the random number data request. And also, let's make the request to happen when the page loads. So get random number. And this is going to be a trigger of the page starts loading. What we want to do is get the random number. And voila.
There it is.
Look at that. Nice. Okay, nice. Great. Loving it.
Cool. Yeah, like I feel my instinct is to just like replace the random number with like some weather data, just to show people that we could do something a lot more cool, or like the current price of Bitcoin. I don't care, any sort of live piece of data.
Do you have anything like if I try to do it now? Do you have something
just
in mind?
Go into. I would go to Townie and say instead of random number. And then just ask it for one of those things, and it should just work on the first try. It might,
right.
If you click Edit in Townie on the right,
let's create another one, because I think that one of the cool things of Val Town is that you can just simply create different vals, and things are organized by different how do you call it? Because English is not my native language. I'm bad. It just small snippets that contain the logic that you want to have. So one thing that I should have done is rename that val town to something like give the user a random number. So so get Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
Yeah, just price. Do either no spaces or underscores. Either.
Okay. So get Bitcoin price. Okay. Is there a technical reason for this? I'm curious.
No, it's just a historical one we're working on. Well, I guess right now the name there is what shows up in the URL, so you'll see that it's in the URL already, and so it has to be like URL safe. That's like that's basically the constraint we have.
So I can go here and ask the AI, like, I want to return the latest Bitcoin price. Does it?
Great. That's it. Yeah. I will say we're on you're on like the free trial. So that all right, it's already done. Before I could defend why it's not going to get it, it already finished.
So how many prompts do I get for the free version?
So the free version is a trial. How many prompts do you get? It's more about tokens, so I can't say like exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But you could use it probably for like an hour or something, or like a couple hours,
Oh.
depending on your usage patterns. Val Town Pro is only $10 a month. We'll probably increase prices later, but grandfather in people. So if you want it, you should get it soon at $10.
Nice call to action. Love it.
But then you get access to the smartest model. But then again, AI is changing so fast. Maybe cheaper models will be just as smart as Claude 3.5 Sonnet. So who knows? I can't predict the future of the frontier models.
Yeah. But you're using Claude, so nice. Do you think that in the future you'll allow people to choose from different models, or are you just thinking about using some built-in models and that's it?
So yeah, so if you're on Pro, you could switch between Haiku and Sonnet.
Oh, you can already? Okay.
Yeah, you could switch between Haiku and Sonnet, and Sonnet's the better one, much more expensive. I don't know, 5 times as expensive. We do get a lot of requests for other models, and we have our eye on a lot of models right now. You actually can, if you want to show people, if you click the hamburger menu in the top left corner of the screen, and then do Townie settings, you'll see our system. Click on settings. There's our system prompt. We give you the whole system prompt. It's kind of hard to get new models to work on the same system prompt. Like every model needs to be prompted in its own way. So long term, the answer is yes. Short term, we're an Anthropic shop because they are the best at writing code now.
Yeah, but love it that you can use a custom prompt as well. That's great.
Thanks.
Okay, so I just asked this. It created the code for me, and I think that it deployed it already as well.
Yeah, every save is a deploy.
But I didn't save, so it did it. It did it for me.
Yeah, yes, it created a new version and saved for you. Yes.
Right. Okay. Love it. Okay, so then if we go back to the Val and we can visit it as well, we get the latest price of Bitcoin.
We zoom in there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we could do the same thing in here. Let's do latest Bitcoin price. So let's quickly do this, but it's going to be the same thing. So, oh, hold on, I'm doing a single span.
If you wanted something a little more interesting, we could do like, I don't know. In Webflow, we could get like the user's IP address and then send that to Val Town, figure out where they are in the world, and then get them the weather for where they are. I don't know. Maybe that's too complicated.
That could be interesting, but I think that we can do something with a form because especially when you want to expand functionalities on your websites, the first thing that you will probably want to do is get inputs from users. Yeah, get inputs from users and give them some output. And we use forms a lot in Web specifically because all the time you're getting things and you're returning things as well. So yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you guys get the drill. If you wanted to display the Bitcoin price as well, you would just set up the request here in Wisp, and you would display the response in the same way like that. And I think that by processing the form data, we can also see a bit more on how things work when it comes to getting inputs in an endpoint. Okay, let's do that. Let's. One of the things that I was thinking, I think that I suggested it to you was to just get a feedback form, and then I know that you've got some built-in APIs for interacting with OpenAI with the data.
Yep.
So we could potentially get like know if the feedback was good or bad, something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Could it be cool?
Well, and you can reply to the user based on, like, if the user says like this site's terrible, the feedback form could be like, I'm so sorry that your experience was bad.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah, love it. Let me do this super quick. So let's set this up properly, and that's gonna be, let's use the name, and let's also then do the feedback, something like that. So let's make this
Cool.
a
And I
text
noticed we have a
field.
couple questions that we might want to address at
Oh,
some point.
oh yeah. Clan is asking, could that be a Wist integration, Alex? It could absolutely, although it's basically a REST request integration. So yeah, if you wanted to see something more native, like you just click and you see Val Town, but essentially all you're gonna get and benefit is not having to write. Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question, Steve. Do you have an API that you provide to get, like, I want to get all my vals from my account, or I want to
Yeah.
programmatically create a val? Do you have that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
If you go
do.
to
Okay.
docs.val.town, I can just kind of show you where to find that. On the left-hand side, scroll down. There's just Val Town API all the way. Yeah, REST API, and then
Mm,
uh, we also have a pretty good TypeScript SDK for interacting with this API.
nice. Nice. Oh, Scholar. Yeah, I've seen that. Nice.
It's very
Okay, so you
common for
can
people
potentially.
to use Valtown to call the Valtown API. Very meta.
Yeah, that's well, that should make you proud. Like, people are using your tool to use your tool. That's like the final goal of everyone. Love it. Is it API sorry, is it? Do you have an OAuth flow to set it up, or do you
We
require
don't yet have OAuth.
creating? Okay.
Yeah, today it's like copy and paste your key, but I
Yeah.
think we make it really easy to get an API key.
Yeah.
I can show you how to
Okay.
do that. So
Then it would make sense to go to convert it into a native integration in Wist. We should consider that. Yeah, I'm gonna comment it with the team, because then you would then just be able to just get a drop down of all the vowels and be able to call that. Can you also, what info do you get from the vowels? Do you only get basic info, or can I get, for example, the expected inputs of a vowel?
um, that that's an excellent question. The uh, the way basically the writer of the val has to self document somehow. There's it doesn't happen automatically because there's no like generic way to do that. It's a hard problem. We
Mm-hmm.
could talk more about that later.
You would have, I assume, to do some static analysis of the functions and then see what the val
Yeah,
is
or
expecting, something like that.
if you've done any exactly, or if you've seen like OpenAI tool call use, like LLMs have been doing OpenAPI specs, OpenAPI
Mm-hmm.
schemas, or like
Right.
Zod schema. Basically, the creator of the endpoint needs to describe what it can take, and
Yeah.
then you can
Yeah.
infer stuff.
Right.
Or you could do static analysis, or you could just throw the code to an LLM and ask the LLM to guess what the inputs are. There are a lot of strategies here.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And Joe was asking, does Belltown still run on Dino deploy, or do they now self-host the Dino infra?
So Valtine has never run on Dino deploy. We've always run our own Dino infra, but we're actually considering partnering with Dino. They have a new product called Dino self-hosting. They mentioned it on their website, and so we're in deep talks with the Dino team about a collaboration. So that's exciting. And I also have to thank Glenn, who just became a Valtime Pro user. That is awesome. Thank you, Glenn.
Nice. Nice. That's great. Okay, great. So let's quickly set up this form, because we've got about 20 minutes, and I think that we can do it in 10. And then we can
All
we
right.
can get the final feedback from people, maybe give some last conclusions. So let's do this. So we want to set up a form where the user adds their name, they add some feedback, and in Val, we're going to receive this data, we're going to process it with OpenAI, decide if it's a good or a bad thing, and then respond to the user. Let's do that.
Great. And we'll even
Okay, great.
store the response in a database too. We'll throw that in for free.
Yes, yeah, correct. That's something, because we really need to talk about this because one of the things of serverless is that you don't have persistence unless you get some database, either if it's a key value pair or a SQL. In your case, it's a SQLite database, right?
Yeah.
I think that do you use Terso? Or I'm just making this up.
Yeah. We use Terso.
You use Terso. Yeah, right. Okay. Let me quickly do this. So this is going to be the name. This is going to be the feedback, like that. So this is essentially the data.
Can we share this URL with people so they could submit feedback? That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. Let's do that. So I'm gonna get rid of the screenshot. Okay. Let's just put it as is. So let's do this. Hold on. I need to add one last attribute for Wist. So let's do this Wist feedback form, like that. And let's share this URL. Although you guys hold on a minute because you cannot still send the feedback yet, but give us 5 minutes. Okay, great. So first of all, we want to create a val that receives these form data. The form data is coming with a key of name and a key of feedback. So
okay,
is it
post request with form body, or is it a get request?
Yes, it's a form body post.
Okay, great. So I think we just talked to Townie. Just describe everything we want. You describe it's an input with a form body. Say save it to SQLite. Describe the keys, and then describe the OpenAI thing and the response.
Yeah. Hold on. Actually, because it's coming from Wist, it's going to be a JSON endpoint. JSON payload.
Okay, so it's going to. Okay, great.
It's not going to be
even easier.
Okay, great. So Townie, and what should I ask it?
You should say, turn this into a HTTP endpoint that can accept post requests with JSON body, and the keys will be, and you can fill that in.
And a feedback fields.
Okay, save that in a SQLite database that you will also create.
Can we process it with AI first before saving it, or
okay,
should it be
great, no, great, send that to AI with, and then we have to tell it what we want the AI to do.
Okay. So do I say just send that data to an AI like this?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And well, not that data, but the feedback data. So send the feedback value to an AI and to determine if it's positive or negative feedback. Is that right?
Do we want like a Boolean, or do we want like thanks for your feedback? Do we want like an English response?
Can we get both things? So the answer should contain two JSON fields. I don't know if I'm asking too much here. A Boolean.
Let's see. So yeah, if you want a JSON parsable thing, then we have to use like the OpenAI structured inputs, which hold on.
No, let's just keep it simple. Yeah.
Okay.
We can keep it simple.
Yeah, if you want to keep it simple, then just
back.
say like, then don't say JSON. Yeah.
The answer should
well, you know what you could
will be presented.
Yeah. To the
so
user.
Thank them if it's positive feedback.
And apologize if it's negative.
Apologize if it's negative. Okay, nice.
And then say save the name, feedback, and AI response into a SQLite database.
Into a SQLite database that it has to create it first?
Yeah, I think it'll figure out that it needs to create it without you telling it. Then I would say, before you submit it, I would say on get request, display an admin view of everything in that database.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, and then you could also say like, in the GET request also. No, that's fine. That's fine. I think that
Yeah.
we'll keep it simple. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
let
Okay.
it rip.
Let's see this. I assume that it's important in React for the admin view.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sets up
Maybe
OpenAI.
close the requests thing so we can view more of
Yeah,
the code. Okay, cool. All right, it's done. Neat.
that was fast. Okay, let me quickly scan this. Wow. So it exports a function that is the handler, I assume. Then it
Yep.
connects to. I assume that these is some built-in modules that you have for SQLite.
Yep.
And same for, is this STD standard library from you, or is it Dino?
It's from us.
It's from you. Okay, nice. Oh, I want to know
Yeah.
more
So
about
we
the
have.
standard library.
Yeah. If you basically, we have like 5 or 6 hosted services that we put in our standard library. So we give you a small amount of free OpenAI, SQLite. There's a proxy in there. There's blob storage, that kind of thing.
Wow. Okay, love it. Great. Then it versions. Okay, so it creates a schema for the table. If it does not exist, great. Then on the post methods, it's going to get the name and feedback. It's going to
Ooh, yeah.
connect to OpenAI. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe can you do max tokens? Just delete. Maybe make that line make it like 200 or something, so it doesn't get cut off.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Okay. So it connects with OpenAI and classify the sentiment of the following text as positive, negative, or neutral.
Huh.
Nice.
That's not quite what we asked for.
I mean,
Look. Yeah. I don't think that's quite what we asked for.
but
Oh,
here,
look at that. Ah.
yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. I have a feeling that it's not going to. It's not going to do
Yeah,
what we ask. It's going to.
we we can simplify it and just say let's put the prompt in here, like
You can copy and paste what you had
the,
before.
well, decide if the feedback that we are sending to you, it's positive or negative, and come up with an answer for the
Okay,
user. That's it.
great.
Okay. Do you have line wrapping? Is it possible to do that?
Yeah, but not in the middle of a string. Not in the middle of that kind of a
Oh, yeah.
string.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Uh,
Okay. So no need for sentiment. I think that
yeah.
sentiment response would be,
Uh,
is it the message
yeah.
content
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
choices? So
Yeah.
I
So
need to
just delete
get,
like. Yeah, there
I
you
need to
go.
get this, right?
Exactly.
So let's do no sentiment. No, all of these. Let's just put the response message is going to be this, like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, great. And let's move these up because we are going to store this. So this response
Nice.
message is what's going to go in here. And okay, it's going to be sentiment, but the value will really be the
Okay.
response message. Okay, and then
Cool.
response JSON, we get the message back. Nice. Then it catches errors. And then for the GET request, it does the admin UI. Okay,
Yep.
let's try it. Can we try it in
All
here
right.
before jumping into Webflow? Is there a way of
Yes.
testing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say go back and ask the
Ah,
AI, because this is how we do things. Say make add a form on the GET request route that when I submit it will call the post request endpoint properly and display the result. And then, yeah, okay, great. Yeah, that should do it. Let's take a quick look.
Is there a way to see the difference between what was before and
Yeah.
what the AI is
So
creating?
go not super easily from here. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it to me that looks like a oh yeah. If you go, I think the issue is there, right there, in that style tag. This is a sort of mistake that only Haiku makes. The pro version doesn't make this
Mm-hmm.
kind of mistake. I should have upgraded you to a pro account before we started. Uh,
No problem. No
uh,
problem.
m-
So I
um,
should do.
can you say tell Townie uh, to let me see. Let me. I think the easiest thing to do is just like delete the style. Just delete
Mhm.
everything in the style for
How
now. That's like
about
the
how
easy.
about we keep it simple and we just roll back, because then we can see how to roll back versions and submit the
Okay,
form
sure.
from Webflow directly.
Okay,
How do I
that
roll
works too.
back from
It might
versions?
just work, but yeah. If you refresh the page, I don't know. It should have a, or if you click version 3, it should like. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. And version 2, it's
cool.
do I do this?
Yeah. Do that.
Version 2.
Cool.
Okay. And this
And
is
then you
saved
could,
already.
and you
This
could.
is
Well,
deployed already?
no, you have to click. You have to click the restore button. Which
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Lovely.
Okay.
Great. So we've got this. Let's get this endpoint. Let's go to Wist. And Rodrigo, we're going to answer you in a second, because you can see cool things that can be done with Val Town. So let's create these requests super fast. This is going to be send feedback. And that's going to what's it going to be, a post request with the endpoint that we just got from Val. And in here, we want to pass somebody that will be the name. And in that case, it's the form name. So it's going to be f.feedbackform.name. And the feedback, which will be f.feedbackform.feedback. For anybody who's just jumped in, Valtown, it's not specific to Wist. I'm just using Wist as a way of integrating it with Webflow, but it's not unique to Wist. You can use it in any way that you can imagine. Okay, so if we refresh this, oh, hold on, I need a trigger, which is that
And then
when we
trigger,
submit the
and
form,
then
we want to send.
displaying the
And
response.
display the message. Yeah, but we can check it. We can check it in the logs. So
I see.
let's submit this. Let's prevent default. Let's add an action that it does perform a request, and the request will be send the feedback. Okay, great.
Nice.
So if I try this, I'm Alex, and I'm very happy about Val Town.
Nice.
Let's submit this.
If it doesn't work, then the feedback will be negative.
Okay. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, we already got that. That's great to hear. It
No
sounds like
way.
Valtown, it's making a positive impact for you. What do you enjoy most about it? And can we
Nice.
then refresh in here and see if it stored it? Yes. Well, that was nice success. Love it. This is
That was
usually
great.
that doesn't happen when we do live streams, that things work at the first at the first try. So love it. Okay, let's add the response. Let's add the response. So I'm gonna need an additional line. Let's add it. Let's do a text blocking here. Let's put it in here, and let's make these just like that. We might need some margins as well. Sorry, getting into design now. Margin bottom, margin medium. Hold on, I always forget how to type. Okay, so let's do with feedback response like that. So so we can display the response after submitting.
Nice. So now
Great.
everyone with the link can try it out. You don't have to wait for us. Click on the Webflow link in the comments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
click
hold
on
on.
it.
Let me add the let me add the feedback response. So we want to display some text, and the text was going to be the send feedback data, like that. I think. Oh no, hold on. It was
Nice.
data.message, right? Or it was it a string, or was it? How was the?
Uh, I don't know. You have to click on
Yeah,
the
I have
val.
to submit
It'll
it
tell
again.
you. Or no, if you click on the val and just look at the code, it'll tell you at the bottom of the code. Or just click on request and then click on the post one, and then you'll see
Request raw
message.
response message. Okay,
Message, yeah.
great. So I have to. Oops, not Webflow. Sorry. So here I have to do dot message like that. Okay, so if I try
Mhm.
this, Alex, this is very bad. Submit it. The feedback is negative. Response. I'm sorry.
uh,
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, we would have to tweak a bit the prompt to OpenAI to give a proper answer, but it's nice. We're getting this in here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, people, you can go ahead. Gabe, can you share the link again? Let's let people start submitting things. Let's see if somebody can want to give it a try. And how they how do I collapse this? Uh, these logs view. Oh, here add
Um,
requests. I,
yeah.
like that. Nice. Okay.
Here, I'm gonna test it. Uh,
And now
submit.
before we leave, I want to do a recap of
I
everything we've
I'm
talked
just
about and
seeing.
things that. Go ahead.
I'm just seeing. Thank you. Your feedback was submitted. I'm also not seeing the random number. Something maybe hasn't been deployed.
Oh, correct. Hasn't been deployed. It should try it now.
Okay, cool.
It should work now. Yeah. We used to
Nice.
have we used to have immediate deployments in Wisp, but it was better for people to be able to work on things and then deploy when they wanted to ship those changes, because it affects the front end.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, cool. So random number, we would have to obviously deal with the design, not display the display proper loading states and stuff like that. But yeah, let's do another one. Let's do Alex. I'm very happy, although I have some concerns. But overall, good stuff. Submitting. Feedback is mostly positive with some concerns mentioned. Thank you for sharing your feelings. Nice. Love it. Great. Okay.
Huh.
Well, we should do a recap because we only have a minute. So let's wrap this up. But first of all, before finishing, I'm gonna tell two things. First of all, Steve, I'm very happy that you joined. I think that you have an amazing product, and that either Webflow users or anybody can really use it to implement many cool things. And the second thing is that we'll probably be using these more in other future live streams. For when we talk more about Wiz and stuff like that, because I really think that it's a very nice product for Webflow. Oh, nice. Eve said it also answers in your language. Nice. I asked in Portuguese and it answered in Portuguese. Nice. Thank
If
you.
you refresh the
Love it.
page, we should see what people are submitting, for better and for
Right.
worse.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Charmaine. I love this, but I hate it because it's so good. Which is pretty awesome. I'm really elated about Val Town. Glad he's loving this. Charmaine, I love this, but I hate it. Yeah, okay. So you submitted a bit. Mark, mind
Nice.
blown. Portuguese from Eve. And last one. Okay, love it. Well, this is so great. So let's do a recap of everything. There are still many things that we should talk about, because we haven't talked about cron jobs, we haven't talked about emails, we haven't talked about the upcoming projects, the all these standard library functionalities that you mentioned from the services that are included, etc. Um, but hopefully, people starting to get the drill of all the things that you could do with Townie, from just simply writing a script tag, hosting that, importing in Webflow, and you get that built in. And the free tier, it's pretty nice. How many requests do you get for the free tier? You get 100,000 requests a day. A run, I assume that a run is a request.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty generous free tier. You even get AI for free for a limited amount of time. That's lovely. Then you can also implement endpoints in case that you're building some web application, either if it's with custom code or if it's with Wisp or any other framework of your choice. And then you can also process data. You can implement cron jobs. You can get webhooks, which would be the HTTP methods. You can send emails to anybody or just see you.
So that is actually receiving emails. So all these things across the top are how the Val's triggered. So scripts are triggered manually. HTTP is triggered by URL. Cron is triggered by timers. Email is triggered by receiving an email. So click on that one just for now.
Right.
We can show users that you get if you click on the three dots menu, you get a copy email address.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. One of the things that we haven't mentioned as well is that you can, obviously, because it's a backend environment, you can store environment variables to connect with any service that requires a private key, which is also a very big use case for Webflow users. Many times you want to interact with an API, but that API requires private keys. So you cannot do that directly from the front end. You need a middleman to do that. Many times people use this Wisp because in Wisp we also provide a middleman service, but Val Town would be another option. You can just simply drop that private key here in an environment variable and just implement the request in here and return it to the front end. So that's lovely as well.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, really happy about this, Steve. Nice.
Yes.
So
thank you. This was so fun.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you. I want to give you like your time to, if you want to promote anything, if you want to just say thank you, up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this whole hour was like a Val Town advertisement. So thank you for giving me a chance to tell everybody about what we're up to. You asked a lot of great questions, and hopefully Val Town is useful for folks. So yeah, val.town is the website. You can find me on Twitter. We have a pretty active Discord. We're very responsive as a team, and me personally on email. So reach out if we can be helpful with anything.
Love it. Well, as said before, but thank you, Steve. It's been a pleasure having you here. And I can wait to keep playing around with Val Town. Thank you, everyone who came here.
Awesome.
See you next Friday.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Bye,
Alex.
all.
See ya.